Welcome to the Cafe Nutty Show. I'm your host, the Goldsmith. It is the 12th of July, 2024, and it is officially the wind down of Genesis season. And that is because we've got very few days left to finish things off. I did earlier in the week, actually, last week, had the opportunity to look at a few things that you could still do to finalize your 5 tasks. We're going to take a peek back at those things, quick review of the things you can do to finish your gamified earnings tasks. If you haven't finished your 5 yet, you still have time to get there. Also looking at the Genesis season ornament challenge, see where that is, who's up at the top of those lists. I'm not going to be surprised by a couple names up there. We'll take a look at that as well. And just a reminder, we are cruising towards the end of Genesis season for the seasons and the ending racing as well. So we'll get into all of that. But as we're doing so, as we're looking at it, we're just going to look forward. And I don't have any news to look forward to. We've been looking forward to a number of things. We've gone over them. We can keep our eyes out for what might be coming next, with a big old caveat that it's still waiting. It's still waiting to see what happens next with the next city, with Totems, with Sparklet. They're all on the cusp. But for today, we can at least know we can finish off this season strong. All views and opinions expressed by myself, they're mine and mine alone. They should be taken as game strategy or financial advice. They don't represent the game or the team of Upland. Any guests or contributors who we do have on, they have their own opinions. They're welcome to them. Should be taken as game strategy advice, financial advice. They don't represent the game of Upland, the team of Upland, and obviously no financial advice here ever. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at a couple of the things that we end off this season with. Actually, we had to start the season with them in order to end them off. We'll take a look at a couple of things that are just kind of, at the very end. Keeping it, have finished off the end of our season. I guess live, if you don't mind turning it off. We did end, and we did get to the end of our Genesis drops here for our cosmetic drops. That was this last Tuesday. So that is something that we did get a chance to look at for the review. Everything that's happened this season, everything that's dropped this season, all the things that have happened for those drops. We got a chance to look at those early months, but those are over. Even though we have a couple days left, even though the month ends, the Genesis season ends on a Monday, it's not quite there. It's not quite close enough. We get to that Monday, the Tuesday is not there, the month ends or the season ends on the 15th. No drop this coming Tuesday. If you had burnt your pass earlier, obviously you don't get a drop. Trees, good to see you. If you didn't burn a pass, don't burn a pass. Hang on to that pass. It has no value being burnt at this point. The Genesis season pass in your inventory, it's just a collectible now. There's no reason to burn that thing at this point. Let's take a quick look. Let's take a quick look at our reminders of what is still open. What is still open this season, what we can still finish off with strong, ending up on this coming Monday the 15th as the end of the season. And again, the caveat is we're not really going to get a chance to have much review between now and then. So this is your last opportunity. Use the weekend, go through the weekend, and finish the month off strong. And this month and a half, the season off strong. And if you are still on the cusp, on the bubble on any of these things, you may have the ability to shift yourself up one way or the other here. First and foremost, Genesis Season Ornament Challenge does start June 1st at 9 a.m. PT. And here's the key thing. The timing matters on this. 9 a.m. PT on the 15th. We won't get together. Won't do a show before then. This is it. This is the last run up to the Genesis Ornament Season Ornament Challenge. So definitely something to go ahead and do. We love to see it. Cheese. Thank you for the like. Definitely go and take a look and consider this for next season. Consider that we want to continue to hold and build structures that are on our properties that are in collections, or maybe the properties that are in collections, find ways to put them or to build a structure on there if they're not there. If I have structures in the game of the Upland, find a way to sneak them in to collections, because these are the properties that we can decorate with structure ornaments during the season to get points towards these Genesis Season Ornament Challenges. The Genesis Season Ornament Challenge, again, we do this on a monthly basis or a seasonally basis. Again, month and a half is what a season runs. You have a 2-week cooling period. We start over again. Sizzle season will be starting on the 1st of August, and we will see what changes we get along the way. But before we get there, we got to remember that we are finishing off the Structure Ornament Challenge for this season. Let's go take a look. Again, the key thing here is remembering that there are 3 separate leaderboards. Uplander and Pro compete on one leaderboard. Directors have their own leaderboard. Executive and Chief Executives have their leaderboard. And we can go and see, oh, I guess those leaderboards aren't, there they are. These leaderboards are still live here. We're going to go take a look. We got to get there, open them up. Let's take a look. Let's take a peek. Let's do the top 5 here. This is the Genesis Ornament Challenge. Again, Uplanders and Pros. Keep in mind, Uplanders have under 100,000 UPX net worth. Most of the map assets sell between 20 and 30,000 or 40,000 UPX, depending on what's selling. On Upland's been selling their season ornaments in USD. On the market, there are some UGC ornaments that are being sold for 10,000 UPX. So ultimately, to have 15 ornaments here for Carpety, congratulations, Carpety, 15 ornaments up, you have to have 15 properties. Okay. They have to all be in collections. Check. They all have to have a structure built on them. Check. And then you have to have 15 ornaments that at the minimum 150,000 UPX or considerably more. It is very impressive for a pro, again, under $1 million UPX value, to have all those things together. Again, it means you put some time and some effort in to build the structures up, or you got a lot of UPX snuck in under the wire, under the $1 million UPX for director, and we're able to get 15 of those structures decorated. So again, this is something that isn't necessarily easy to do. Structures don't count towards your net worth, nor do map assets that you own or assets that you own. So it is possible, and there have been people who have continued to play those games, where they're building up their assets from these structure ornaments, building up map assets, and never having them count towards their net worth. And maybe they have actually been in the game for a while. Maybe they actually have done a lot of play. Maybe they have built a lot of structures which don't count towards your net worth, and they put a lot of effort into it, and they still haven't made that director mark, but they are very much positioned to be competitive here. Dingo Mick, Kafka Katsky, Fluffers 2023, and Wolf Razor top 5 of the Uplander and Pro category here in the Ornament Challenge. Key notes there. I think I've seen Wolf Razor in some other places. Still a smaller account. People getting in there, getting in multiple places, mixing it up, getting other contests along the way as well. Directors from a 1 million and 1 UPX net worth to a 9,999,999 UPX net worth. Theoretically, you get to the 10 million UPX mark, and you can go and upgrade your account into executive. Do it during a Spark weekend, please, so you get those bonuses. And we'll, we're end of Genesis season, so we'll talk about that the idea of Sparklet weekends again, because we had a very interesting thing happened during Genesis season. We'll get into that. Camoville, first place with 40 points. Whew! This is somebody, again, who's not yet in executive. 40 structures, all on collection properties. All of them have a structure ornament on them. This is pretty impressive. Deal Makers at 34. Brazilian Emo 22, Vape High Guy 21, and Trike Men at 20. Again, top 5 here in the directors category. Congratulations to you all. I do want to put a caveat. This category, as well as the other category, as well as the next leaderboard, keep in mind that there can be a lag between people actually having those ornaments up and them showing up on the leaderboards. The other thing to watch out for is sometimes people can camp those leaderboards. They can, do what they're doing for today, have some structural ornaments reserved to sneak them up at the very last minute, especially if they're competitive, trying to push themselves up along the way. So it's not over yet. It's not a guarantee, but it is fun to see the work people put in. Here's the numbers that are the real fun. And they're really crazy, if you ask me as well. Genesis Ornament Challenge execs and chief execs, Shakdalin, ran away with it last season, running away with it this season. 133 points. It's 133 structures on 133 collection properties, each of which has a structure ornament for the season of Genesis season on it. Incredible. There's a ton of work, ton of effort, a ton of resources invested in that. Incredible. Congratulations, Shacklin. Again, you still have some competitors behind you. I don't think they're going to overtake you. It is marginally possible, but congratulations, Shaq, on the accomplishment. Dukes, let's go Dukes. That's 3 O's there. Dukes X 94. Wama, yeah, Wama, 80 points. Hind 76, and M Lang 11 at 70. These are impressive numbers. You can have as many properties as you want. There's only as many collections as there are. There's a lot of time that goes into building structures. It's not just a matter of optics to having the optics to go and buy the structure ornaments, or the USC to go buy the structure ornaments. It's a matter of having the sparklet to have in your account and then to stake it to build all of these structures. In some cases, people can go and rent Spark and have structures built for them if they don't have enough sparklet to go and build their own structures quickly. That's definitely a thing. People buy structures on the secondary, that is properties with a structure on them built already. People do that quite a bit as well. But it is either dedication of time and resources with the sparklet to get that all built, or it is an investment of OPEX or investment in USD to buy that many properties that already have structures on them. And this is one of the few, and we talked about Meta Ventures earlier in the week. I love Meta Ventures. I'm glad they exist. I'm continuing to look at them becoming a larger and larger point and part of the game, and them to continue to be something that more and more people get involved in. I think everyone should maybe think about having a Meta Venture. If they have something they want to sell, what's the point of having a Meta Venture? There's significance there. Again, that was a couple days ago. You can go back and take a look there. But this is the other utility of a structure right now. If you don't want to have a Meta Venture, if you don't want to host a dev shop, if you don't want to have any other type of, essentially a business out of that structure, your other option is to use it to climb up these leaderboards for these contests, for these ornament contests. There's a couple other small contests maybe Upland could use to leverage all of the structures that you own. They could happen. No guarantees they ever will. But this is one of the big ones, and there are some prizes along the way for finishing for placement. So let's take a look at those. What these individuals are competing for, and if you're on those leaderboards, what you're competing for, and if you're not on those leaderboards, if you're not competing, what you might want to consider for next season, because we expect this to be rotational. We expect this to be every season. We expect it to be year to year, so previous ornaments count towards a new season, the new year, if they were from the previous year's season. And it's something that the more structures I own that are in the collection areas already, the more opportunities I have once I collect those structure ornaments to get those decorated. Here we go. Let's take a look at some reminders here. No, I want to see the prizes. Show me all those prizes. That's all I'm after. Leaderboards, again, leaderboards are live already. That's fine. Ready, set, decorate. That's fine. We see the structure ornaments here. Oh, look at those. Those are for sale between $14 and $20. We did see that they sold in the middle of the month. It almost got sold out and then didn't on a lot of these, because the whole point of these is to get these and get the decorations and get them up. And when it got later in the leaderboard month, people were less excited to get them turned around and purchased. Those are Genesis ornaments for the season. Reminders that there was and will be. Again, this is about a looking forward moment. Every Thursday between 9 and 10 a.m., there's a snapshot. People can get prizes on a weekly basis. That's a block. That could be Sparklet. They could do that again, where it continues to be Sparklet, where just based on having a number of structural ornaments that do have structural ornaments that are decorating a collection property during the right season and landing on the top 50. I think top 50 gets your chance to get drawn there for some Sparklet along the way. But the final of the leaderboard, that's what we're talking about. The 15th at 9 a.m. PT is when all those leaderboards shut off. Keep it in mind, with a lag, we don't know who won for sure until they finalize. First place gets one property from a rare collection in a city that will be open during Genesis 2024 season. Well, unless they surprise us on Monday, we already had one city that got released. It wasn't really even a city. We got Bermuda that was released during Genesis season, and that's it. There wasn't a separate or a second city open during Genesis season. Rare property in Bermuda is what you're looking at here for first place, plus 0.1 spark. That's for all three of the leaderboards. Second place to 11th place gets an exclusive badge and exclusive collection properties from a city that will be open during Genesis season 2024. Again, Genesis season 2024. Only city that we opened wasn't even a city, but it was Bermuda, so that did happen. And then top 25. Everyone in the top 25, that is inclusive of first place, second through 11th, do get a special Genesis season block explorer. So kind of exciting to see prize along the way. We did see the people who are top 5. Many of those people, more than likely, just seeing the distance between 5th and 6th, and many of those, more than likely, those top 5 are going to definitely end up in the top 11. So congratulations. And the 6th through 11th currently, majority of those people will be looking at some decent prizes. But as long as you're in the top 25, you will be expecting to get a block explorer at the very least. So it is something that there's a little bit of time. There's a little bit of time if you're in 14th place to say, I want to creep up to 11th. If there's a little bit of time if I'm in 30th place, I want to say I want to creep up to 25th. That time is still there. Time is still available to you, but it's limited. This coming Monday the 15th at 9 a.m. PT is when that cuts off. All right, easy enough. We had talked about the gamified earnings. We already saw that, missions and challenges. So let's take a look at that. Just a reminder. Again, this is the cursory look. We looked at these earlier. We know that there's a number of these that can be done in a day or a number of hours. The treasure hunting can be done in a number of hours. You just have to start 5 treasure hunts. You have to go mint 5 properties. This could be done in a matter of minutes, matter of hours. These are things that if you're at 3 right now, you can do those 2 and be at 5. It is something that's not too hard. The burning exchanging, I wouldn't do unless you're inside of a burn or exchange event where you're kind of double dutying. But you can go buy 3 assets. Yeah, buy 3 assets from a meta venture. Done. That takes you a couple minutes. You can go and take 5 flights. Boom. It takes a couple minutes. It does cost UPX to do so. And then we have the opportunity to just go to 3 BE shops, just to travel. It does take a little bit of UPX to go to the properties. But did we just get 5? Did we just get 5? Savvy Shopper, Frequent Flyer, MetaVenture Explorer, Treasure Hunter, Pioneer or Property Pioneer. That's 5. Those could all be done between now and Monday at 9 a.m. PT, or between now and Monday. So yeah, that 100% can still be done. You can still finish off Genesis season strong. You can still get your points. You can still get your 14.7% annualized earnings for the season. It's not too late if you're in the game today and you just started today. You have to decide whether you can invest the amount of UPX and time that it takes to get those 5 tasks done. But for the limited number of properties you have, if you start with some properties right now, it is going to be helpful during sizzle season to increase your annualized, or the rate that you would make at a 14.7% annualized rate, rather than just taking the base rate, because we have reduced down to a base rate of 4.7%. So that is something we want to keep in mind. It's definitely there. It's definitely something we know we're going to head into our next season, sizzle season. Sizzle season starts on August the 1st. It runs to September 15th. Very special day, the 15th. That's the middle of September. That's headed right into the fall. That is a number of days in that season is 45. And the number of days in between sizzle season and harvest season is 16 days. And there's another reason. There's a really important reason why I say September 15th is very important. Because Upwind has said a couple times in a couple ways that their target is to get the tokenization, or the token of Sparklet out and on the market and exchangeable by the end of the summer 2024. The 15th of September, that's not quite the very end of summer, but oh my God, it's really, really close. It's the end of sizzle season. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at sizzle season likely bringing us the launch of Sparklet. Hopefully, the launch of Sparklet goes successfully. Hopefully, it's all ready to go. Trading pairs and exchange being listed on. You're able to take your Sparklet from in the game of Upland and port it out using, using a portal. So you can get that out into an Ethereum version that you can go and trade easily, or it could put in your Ethereum wallet and sit on one or the other. And then finally, I think that we've got a lot more that can be happening in sizzle season. We possibly have a city to be released now sometime soon, because we haven't had one released for about a month. We have the opportunity for totems to make their appearance back. Upland's kind of pumped the idea that totems are coming. Upland's kind of pushed this idea that there's a reason why people are trying to improve their totems with these totem potions. And when asked, they were like, the upcoming season, make it sound like it was coming up soon. Let's make it soon. Sizzle season's right around the corner. You can start it in between sizzle season. Upland has even talked about the time in between seasons, the 15 days in between season, can be an opportunity to have special events that run apart from and outside of a season. We do not need a totem event to happen in a season. That doesn't have to happen. It would be kind of weird because running or starting as totem season, a totem event is going to run on a cycle of a chapter, or on the length of a chapter, which was previously 30 days. 30 days doesn't follow the season's 30 days, or the same runtime as a season. Season's not 30 days, it's 45. I don't know. Maybe Upland could just run it to start it at the beginning of the sizzle season. We've got plenty of opportunities there. Cross fingers. Let's see what happens. Otherwise, what we are looking forward to between now and the fall, we just about covered it. We know Sparklet is prepped to launch. We know totems, we'd love to see another chapter launch. Totems are going to obviously be tied. We are hoping, fingers crossed, are going to be tied to life eventually. Hopefully we can get these totem chapters to start stacking up back to back, as opposed to having to run 6 or 8 or 10 months in between each totem chapter. We know that Sparklet has been a big focus, so that may have been part of the delay with having totems kind of happen back to back. We know that there are a lot of layer 2 enhancements that have been out there that Upland's been trying to push, inclusive of bringing in and making the Upland sandbox a lot easier for people to be accessible on, for people to get into, to pilot and see how things line up, for people to be able to see what their assets look like if they are working on porting in or creating their assets, so they can start using that tool, start using Sandbox to pilot and start building out their planned Upland improvements. And even if that includes being able to build their map assets to tie into or get ready for a layer 2 project. So that's going to be exciting. And I'm excited that we're looking on the date here, early August, to finally be able to talk about UGC and the sandbox. It's been something a lot of people have been waiting for a long time, to be able to have that conversation, to get Jason in to have that. It looks like it's going to be the beginning of August here. So excited about that. And also hopefully excited to see what happens with the partnership. And again, I'm going to say it one more time. It's been a little bit of a beleaguered partnership, and it's not one that's saying it shouldn't exist or that it's failed. It's that it's been really drawn out for features to come in, and that's been because partially because of Upland and the partner working together. And that's NFLPA. I would love to see how Upland plans on revitalizing that partnership or the offerings for this fall. Upland said it's still a good partnership. Upland said it's still planned to happen this fall. It's just a matter of, would love to see how Upland tries to energize that, what type of use case we can have for the assets. There's been some talk back and forth of what can and can't happen. We'd love to see what can happen for the 2024 season for NFLPA. And finally, surprise me, Upland. Surprise me. We know that we are going to have continued iterations of racing, being improved in the game of Upwind. Upwind wants to continue to see the car racing be a thing and develop. They have talked about doing these on a seasonal basis. We have the end of the Genesis season racing ending up here in the next few days. We have a finale next Friday for the season finale for Genesis season, just for the Series 1Rs, essentially, or the top of the scores, or the highest performance cars taking part in that next Friday the 19th. But all of that aside, I want to be surprised. I want Upland to do that big wow, put the next thing out. I think that there is the opportunity, because we're kind of seeing things set up with Track Hero, to see another monument get released or get sold one way or the other, and that have that end up in someone's possession, so we can turn around and see that next experience. We can continue to see Track Hero be something. There's some thoughts about what needs to happen to make Track Hero grow and have competitive leagues, and how that can be more successful in the game. But it would also be exciting to see the next one, for the next monument, for the next experience, for the next iteration of a gamified space in the game of Upwind. And otherwise, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to Sizzle season. That's what we have to do at this point, because that's right around the corner. By the time I have a next show on Monday, that's where we'll be. Or that's what we'll be headed into, I should say. We'll be in that doldrums in between our, season A and season B, that doldrums in between Genesis season and Sizzle season, that 15 days of we don't know what's going to happen. So for today, thank you so much for being here. Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. PT. We do have a show. Try to go over the news and announcements. If there's a day like today where there's not a direct news or announcements, zero today, there is always the where we are in the season. That's where we're trying to close this out. We are very much headed to the end of the season, or if there's open events, or if there's a topic like we talked about with having a meta venture early in the week. If there's a topic that really needs to be touched on and really worth being touched on. So looking forward to seeing you next week. Again, 7:30 p.m. PT in the Upwind Cafe Discord, on YouTube, on Twitter. We'd love to see you there. Thank you so much again, and looking forward to see you next week. If you're in the Upwind Cafe Discord, please feel free to unmute your mics. Floor is yours.